So what's up guys, this is your boy Christopher Joe, and today we'll be talking about which handheld is best for you and your needs. We're going to be talking about the ANBERNIC RG35XX, very nice and compact. Next we're going to be talking about the Switch Lite, very useful. And we're going to be talking about the almighty king of handhelds, the Steam Deck. One thing we're going to talk about first is the comparisons as far as size and build designs. As you can already tell from looking at them, the ANBERNIC is very small in comparison to these other two devices, which is good because it's good for traveling. When I travel, I love to bring my ANBERNIC instead of anything because it's just more compact. It's easy to just throw in my pocket, or a good old fanny pack I'll throw around my back. You know, just go ahead and keep it moving. I mean, it's not bad on charging, and it has so many games already built into it that it's rare that I get bored of this or run out of games to play. Next is the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is definitely a very good handheld because just straight out the box, you don't have to tinker with it. Great games, decent graphics. One thing I don't like about the Switch Lite that I honestly can say, I don't really care for the price of the games, because $70 for a game on the Switch, and I have the Switch Lite, I can get the same game with better graphics and a better feel for it on a PlayStation 5. That's just me personally, but I mean, you got games like Zelda, I would definitely spend $70 on that. Next on the bigger scale is the Steam Deck, that some people actually just call a console or a PC, and rightfully so. As far as the Nintendo Switch, I really love the Nintendo Switch because it's still like small, where you can pack it away in your bag and you won't have to worry about losing space in your luggage. In comparison of the Steam Deck, when you put it into the case, especially the one that they give you, I lose a lot of space. Not really luggage, but more like my carry-ons. And even when I'm traveling, I don't really like to carry the Steam Deck because sometimes it seems so delicate, and I would really have to pay attention to the games that I can play offline, because there are a few of my favorite games that I couldn't play offline. Like, surprisingly, I couldn't play, I think, GTA, don't quote me. Some really good games, I guess they need an authenticator or something like that, don't quote me, but that really sucks when I was like overseas and not able to get to the internet. When I did bring my Steam Deck one time, surprisingly, I didn't even play my Steam Deck as much as I thought because of that. I wanted to play, I think, Max Payne. Max Payne was definitely one game I needed to, for some reason I had to be hooked up to the internet, and that kind of bugged me out, so I didn't really use it as much. But as far as the Switch Lite, I mean, you can pretty much just play it as it is. Make sure your games are downloaded. You can play offline, you can play online. There's so many different things you can do. I think the best feature about the Switch Lite is the ease of use. It is just so easy for anybody to just grab, like kid friendly, it's still adult friendly, easy to use for people that don't like to tinker around, as far as like the Steam Deck, which we're going to talk about next. What more could you really say about the Nintendo Switch? Like, a lot of people said that the Steam Deck was going to kill it, but in my personal opinion, it just made the Switch that much more convenient, because there's a lot of people that didn't want to mess around with the Steam Deck. Steam Deck is not for the faint of heart if you're not really computer illiterate, sad to say.
What?
Like, straight out the box, it can be a little intimidating. In the Nintendo Switch, they have a lot of great games. Their trademark games like Mario and Zelda are just really great. Now, one thing I love about the Steam Deck is the size. It's so much you can do with the Steam Deck. It's like ridiculous. I mean, from customizations to hooking up to your TV. Don't get me wrong, you can hook up the ANBERNIC to your TV and you can actually use a controller, but it's nothing like playing, you know, AAA games on the Steam Deck on your TV, or even playing the emulators on your TV, as far as what the Steam Deck can do, because, you know, the Steam Deck can do a lot more emulation than the ANBERNIC, so that's where it beats that at. And also the graphics, of course, I mean, in comparison to the Nintendo Switch, I would say, yeah, the Steam Deck is a lot better. I mean, it's so much you can do as far as, like I said, customizations. There's different games you can get, and when I found out a way to hook up my PS5 through my Steam Deck, it just like blew my mind away as far as like how much I really use my Steam Deck. It's ridiculous. I play a lot of my PlayStation 5, so being able to play it on my Steam Deck when I don't feel like looking at the TV or when I'm around family, that's just a plus, because there's like a lot of games that I will rather actually play on my PlayStation 5 than my Steam Deck. That's a whole different conversation, because the Steam Deck does have some really great hidden gems. A lot of people get the Steam Deck and they want to get like some of the newest games like Starfield, and I got the Harry Potter game, which wasn't bad, but I would probably have played more of it and enjoyed it more on the PlayStation 5, so I can get basically like its full effect without having to tinker around, go on YouTube and figure out like how to make it look good and run good and save battery. Like all that is just like a very tedious triangle that kind of makes me like irritated sometimes, especially when you pay so much for a game on a Steam Deck. When it comes down to which handheld fits for you, now let's go down a list real quick. I can tell you which ones will probably be best for you. So the ANBERNIC is definitely best for putting in your pocket, on the go. It's great for charging, as far as like just having it around, not worried about the battery life, which all of them are to me personally. It's very easy to use, has a lot of retro games. I think the only lack is you have to mod it to get the best out of it, which I definitely didn't feel like doing, and I don't know quite sure how to put games on here that I want to put on here. But I mean, the games on here are very decent. So this is for someone who maybe likes to play like Game Boy games, or just want to just whip it out when they're out and about. Maybe if they're at school or if they're at work and just want to bring something that's very inconspicuous. I mean, you can play it on a bus, you can play it in a lot of places. Just whip it out and just play it and then put it back in your pocket. It's just so easy to just walk around with. I think this handheld is definitely for someone who loves games but don't want to lug around a big handheld. Now, the Switch Lite is probably for Nintendo lovers and people who really love the game but don't feel like tinkering with the Steam Deck. So this is more like casual gaming. Even if you pay for the subscription like I have at one point, you know, you can play all the Nintendo 64 games, some of the old school games, like I think like Banjo-Kazooie, like just great. Like this is an all-around great experience, easy to play. You probably can't put this thing in your pocket, but it'll fit easily in one of your bags, like easily. Now the Steam Deck is definitely for someone who really loves to game and doesn't mind tinkering and knows how to use a computer. And I say a computer because you will probably spend a lot of time in Linux on the browser as far as like setting up your emulators, which is actually like really easy. So I know that it looks and sounds intimidating, but it's pretty much like no different than iMac and Windows. Like if you can get around Windows, you can definitely get around Linux. I mean, you can really use the Steam Deck as a standalone console. Like if I just had my Steam Deck, I would still be happy because I can just get myself a dock, hook it up to the TV, I can connect a controller to it, and there you go, you have a whole console. Now my personal opinion of all three, honestly, it really depends on the circumstance, your budget, and what you're really wanting to get out of your handheld. If you're looking for something on a cheaper end, the ANBERNIC is about no more than maybe $80 on Amazon. I got mine for like $70 some. If you're looking for something more stronger or more versatility as far as like different games you can play, I would definitely go with the Switch Lite, especially if you don't feel like tinkering around with stuff. And of course, the Steam Deck is just one of those consoles. It's pretty much a handheld console. Let me know what consoles you guys would definitely pick, like maybe your day-to-day, or what would you travel with. Let me know what's your favorite. If you guys have one of these, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for sticking around and bearing with my voice. I am a little bit under the weather right now, but I feel very motivated to do a video because I haven't done one in a while. So hope you guys are staying safe, staying positive, and staying woke. And on that note, adios. Peace.